What's up, guys? This is the Scandal AFTERBUZZ TV after show for episode 21. That's my girl. It's the season finale. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
All right, guys, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for Scandal, season 5. Your Fab Four is here, as always, starting with me, Emile Ennis Jr.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kenneilia.
Hey, Gladiators. I'm Sofia Stanley.
Hi, I'm Bamm Ericsen.
All right, guys, so let's go ahead and break it down. What do we think about the episode?
I personally like the music. I'm just waiting for it to. Okay, I like this episode. It was great for different reasons. For me, I felt it was a great season finale. Could be series finale. There was a lot of great wrap-ups, specifically for Fitz and Olivia, which is really all that really matters. Mm-hmm. So I really enjoyed it. It wasn't your typical. Who shot John, forgot to kill him. It was it was very peaceful.
It picked up for me towards the end. I got into it towards the end, especially seeing, and we'll talk about it, the election tickets and how things played out and how the pieces were moved and how Papa Pope ended up playing everybody. So, to me, it picked up towards the end.
What about you, Sophia?
I was trying to catch to see what the fans were saying. I don't know, Scandal finale, unimpressed. I can't wait for you guys to break it down. I would actually have to echo Bamm's sentiments. But I also kind of want to go a different angle with it. There was an ease to this episode that I liked. I felt like there was no dun dun dun. Yeah. There was none of that normal build up, and there was not that normal suspense, which I liked, because I think that what they were dealing with was kind of very dramatic. You know what I mean? Picking VPs and, your first official convention, and now you're the actual candidates for your party. So I liked the fact that this episode didn't feel rushed, and there was a juxtaposition against the actual real world things that were going on versus the energy of the actual episode. So I think that that's probably why we all feel kind of calm, because I think that they deliberately kept us in that calm space, which I like, because sometimes they do the exact opposite, which has a tendency to irritate me.
I would agree with that. So let's go ahead and start breaking it down. So in this episode, like Sophia said, they were picking VPs. That was the meat of the episode until the very end. So at the beginning, the episode starts with Jake talking to Vanessa's father. And they're having a conversation. Vanessa's father is, I'll call him Mr. Moss. Vanessa's father, I'm going to say I'm calling Mr. Moss and call him Vanessa's father again. Mr. Moss. Mr. Moss was saying he was the son he thought he never wanted. And then all of a sudden he starts choking. And immediately we know that Jake is the guy who did this. And instead of showing any type of sympathy, he's just sitting there. I'm sorry I had to do this. Your daughter's about to come up with a big fortune. We need that inheritance to fund the campaign. And his father's on the ground there. Why aren't you doing anything? And he's dead. What do you guys think about the opening scene?
I forget. What's Cyrus's dead husband's, what is his name? James?
Mm-hmm. James, yes.
That's the same way he killed James. Remember, James got shot and he kneeled down and he said, let go.
But he at least held his hand.
Oh, did he hold James?
Do you know what I mean?
Like, even though that
they had a relationship,
even though that was
connection,
even though that was when he held James's hand, that was eerie from a different perspective. This to me seemed beyond cold, because it's also too, again, like, dude, what's up with the narration? No, really. Why do you have to tell me? Yeah. You could have literally allowed me to think that I was having a heart attack. Right? Held my hand, pretended to call the ambulance, picked up the phone, whatever. Because on some levels, dude, there is a certain point in life where I kind of don't care what happened to you. We all, in the exact moment we're in, we have choices that we make, right? So regardless of whether or not you are going to make the choice to kill this man, you also have a choice of how he is going to go into the next life. So the fact that you choose to let him going into the next life, knowing that even though he thought that you were the son he thought he didn't even know he wanted, that his daughter, his only daughter, is married to the devil, that means you are consciously choosing to send him on to the next level in that level of pain, let alone that he's having a heart attack. That's on you, dude. I don't give a fuck who abused you, whether or not it was your real dad, whether or not it was Rowan, whether or not you upset that Olivia don't love you. that's on you in that moment, which is actually worse than actually killing him.
Wasn't that the same? Isn't that the true nature of B613 though? Because when Huck tortures people and he does things, he tells them what he's gonna do. Now I'm going to take your finger off. I'm gonna rip your tooth out. They tell people what's gonna happen. So
and that's why they call Huck a monster. But isn't it? But it's funny though, because we think about it. We used to, and by we, I'm going to say me and Emile, used to get a lot of shit for saying that Jake was a monster. Just because now we see the backstory and we maybe had a moment where we're like, oh, we feel sorry for him, doesn't negate that he's a monster. And I think it needs to be said again and again, Jake is a monster. That he's not a normal human being walking up, you know what I mean, who's like, oh, poor had daddy issues. No, you a monster.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised though. That scene, him not like coming to like being the fake deep and fake into it, like, oh, I'm so sorry and blah blah blah. I wasn't surprised because they all shitty in regards to when it comes to somebody living and dying. They don't care. So I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, oh, he's shitty. Like, they're all shitty.
Agree, Kenneilia, but I now see your perspective where it is pretty effed up.
Yeah. But he's pretty effed up, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, and can we just for a split second? $500 million?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like literally, Jake done come. Like,
Yeah.
I knew that this was orchestrated, but you married a girl who is going to inherit $500 million?
And you know, I just thought about, this is gonna jump way forward.
Yeah.
When he was talking to Olivia about being normal and getting a house and things like that, he does know he's married to Vanessa Monster. Like, that just clicked in my mind.
But no, in his mind now, he thinks he can just divorce her after you killed her dad. Yeah. But again, it shows how naive he is. I mean, and pull me back, Emile, if this is not where you want to go. I think the good aspect of this show, though, is even like I said, there was kind of on some level the lack of drama. I still do have questions because when we now realize that Rowan has always and will always be the maestro, then it makes me think, was Jake also playing Olivia? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, can we be that naive? Like, is this MFer this naive to basically like, oh, I pass by this house every day on my way? Do you know what I mean? Like, really, dude? At least Fitz has a gorgeous house in Vermont. That makes more sense. But you think we're gonna actually
that basic ass house?
But not even the basic house. You think we're gonna stay in the DMV? You think we're gonna stay in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and I'm not gonna be the Olivia Pope? No, the only thing about it, the only way I could actually give up my life is that I would have to remove myself from any environment which would remind me, a la either Vermont or an island. You couldn't move 5 minutes down the road
then why would
and
they
think I'm not gonna be.
Not only stay down the road, so Papa Pope still lives in that city. You know, there's this. Anyway, so we're gonna.
So that leads me to believe it's like either you're that naive or you're still being orchestrated. Like you're still devious.
To me, it's as simple as. Olivia walked out of that house to the point where she said, damn, when they strolled out, they probably never thought that they would be able to do that in life. So to him, it's like, shit, we can live down the street. I walked out the front door and didn't die.
Okay.
So he's like,
right.
It's like, let's go down the street.
Yeah.
That was good, Kenneilia. All right, we're going to come back to that.
No, did you see her shoulder shrug?
Yeah, sure.
Do it again.
All right, so each candidate's looking for their running mate. And so on the Republican side, Melly is searching, or should I say OPA is searching for a running mate. And, you know, in these episodes, even when I don't love everything in the episode, I tend to love when OPA does their little, like, hunt. And in this episode, they were searching for the BP, and they came across a governor who was so upfront with them saying, you know, I sold coke. I even went to Columbia. Like, that was just funny to me.
Yeah.
I love that honesty. I think that's the reason they went with him, because Liv's always like, you have to tell me everything. He told them everything. So
and he's like, there's only one person who knows.
Yeah. Now, speaking on the one person who knows, this whole thing of going to, if anybody remembers his name before I do, they were going
to send him to like Albuquerque, right?
Albuquerque, whatever his name was. You guys know what I'm talking about. They went to him. They said, here's your new passport, your whatever. We're going to set you up there. I don't know why I found that so
stupid,
messy, problematic, especially since I think one reason, besides this being stupid, one reason was because Quinn was a product of that same type of thing. I don't know. I just didn't like it.
Well, not only that, but you're gonna send him just to Albuquerque.
Exactly.
Like, kill him. I hate to say it, but
snap.
that man seems so removed. Like, I would actually trust him and believe that he was not going to say a word. Like, he didn't get, that was 35 years ago. There are some people that you may wonder they may come out. I just didn't get that vibe from that man. Like, he just didn't seem like he was a threat to me at all.
See, this is where my problem with it is that it's almost like in telling him why he's leaving, you've now actually you've hit you've ignited the pilot light, right? So that's the first part. The second part is Albuquerque.
Exactly.
Like, could you at least tell me I'm going to Cancun or Jamaica or Paris? Like, you know what I'm gonna say? Give me something that like he's like, I don't want to leave. Like, he literally seems like he likes his life of wherever he worked at the bank. Let alone that also doesn't seem far enough, right? So even if it's like, think about it, if they had done something different, like, oh yeah, you want a all expense trip to somewhere, and then like someone offered him a job. I don't know. Like, to me, they should have been a little bit more. Is the word duplicitous? Like, the fact that they were so upfront with him, I didn't like that. And you're sending him to Albuquerque, and now he knows why he's in Albuquerque.
And it wasn't enticing.
But it wasn't strong enough on a fear level.
No.
Boy, get out of here. I don't like if somebody walked up to me
and said, I'm calling the police. I'm literally calling the police.
On in the shoe boot. I would be like, I ain't going nowhere with you. Girl, beat it. And I would go back to work. Like, they didn't have no goons. You know what I mean? Like, it was just those two. Like, you're going to leave. You're going to go to New Mexico.
Yeah, they were playing on the fact that we know that they're deadly, but at the end of the day, he doesn't know them from Adam. And they look like some normal random dudes from IT. No, really, they look like people from IT.
Yeah. Like, I agree completely with everything guys said. I was making sure everybody was on the same page.
Can I just say something about OPA? I thought it was cute when, you know how there's always that shot when the OPA is looking at the glass window and Melly was right there with them. That was cute.
Oh, like as if she's part of the team.
Yeah.
Good catch.
All right, so let's talk about Edison. So Edison came to Liv's office to deliver the news about Jake. And after he did not get the response he felt that Olivia should have given him, he went into Edison mode. And we all know what Edison mode is. Actually, I'm not going to call it Edison mode. That's going to be put in pop mode. And I immediately started screaming at the screen saying that he doesn't have the right to stand there and give any type of response. Like, all he was asked of is to deliver this message to Olivia. We did not say coerce Olivia to do anything. Just deliver the message and walk your ass out. I just don't understand why he's always. I do understand because it's Edison, but that bothered me. Did anybody have any comments on Edison?
No.
So what? Who cares?
Okay. So then Edison delivered the news. Eli went to Frankie Vargas's office. And when he was there, Cyrus walks in and sees him, and they do the whole thing like it's his first introduction. And then they have their confrontation where Papa Pope basically tells Cyrus that he knows about Harrisburg. He knows it was all orchestrated, great there, and now Cyrus is scared. When Cyrus goes to Liv's apartment later in the episode, I don't know why I laughed so hard, but when Liv said, I can't help you if you don't give me the info, I think immediately I said, you can't help him anyway. Like,
You did. You really did.
Like, I don't know why that was so funny to me, but it's interesting seeing their dynamic and seeing how worked up she gets still with anything that Papa Pope's involved in.
For me, in that, actually before he even got to Olivia's house, I was thinking, but this is all your fault. Think about it. He went to Olivia, right? So when I don't know what the reason was, but remember when he went to go talk to Olivia on the bench and was like, Frankie's the real deal, he's the real deal. That's what made her then go talk to Edison, which is what made Edison literally give his Donald Trump speech, which allowed him not to come off the ticket, which then allowed Jake not to be his running mate, but then had to have Jake be Vargas's running mate.
Yep.
So if you would actually never come to Liv and literally let all the pieces fall as they may, you wouldn't have been involved in this. It's your fault. And you want to know why? Because you're always trying to orchestrate things. If in fact he really is the real deal, the minute you did Harrisburg, that's your one.
Yeah.
That's your one. You should literally get on your knees and pray that that never comes out, but you should never then try to orchestrate anything else. You need to run this ship as clean as it can be run. And if it means that Rowan's going to come for you or Rowan might win because Rowan's Rowan, you need to have faith that Frankie really is the one and somehow good will conquer over evil. It will not. But that's what you should do.
What did you guys think when we were watching the show? Cyrus is when he was telling Frankie about Jake Ballard, and he said, "Should we make Jake Ballard the VP?" And Cyrus goes in this whole speech and tirade, and then I turned Sophia.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I turned Sophia. I was like, "Is this a fantasy?" And then 5 seconds later, it was a fantasy.
And then I said, "That's what I don't like about the show."
Yeah,
That was bad writing. I'm sorry, Shonda.
Completely. And you know what I think it is also too? And I think this is why we kind of are, let me rephrase this, why I go back and forth with this show. I understand if you started watching this show from season 5, it makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. But if you have been watching this show since season 1, it does not. Because if you've been watching for season 1, it doesn't make sense, some of the things that they're doing, because it's way too predictable. And that's the problem. So if you are an OG Gladiator, you're like, this isn't the same show. Yeah. But if you've been watching since season 5, I understand why you still ride for this show. But it's insulting to us as viewers to be able to anticipate every single move. Yeah. It's not fun TV watching. That's not why we watch TV. You watch TV to escape. Even if the storyline is realistic, you still want to escape into it. You don't want to anticipate every move and be right. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I just realized. You know when I heard myself? Sorry. That was mean.
No, I want to co-sign and say something else, but it would be nasty.
Okay, yeah, good. Thank you. Oh, no. Emile's like, go there. Because it'll make me feel better. Because then I won't be out here by myself.
Well, Scandal is averaging about 5 million viewers. Oh, shit. And so 5 million viewers is what the numbers were when the first season started. So in the beginning of season 5, they were at about 12, and then once we had that long break, the numbers eventually swindled down. So these faithful 5-6 million viewers are the same people that were day one. So don't insult our intelligence. Just give us, just do it.
Ooh, well said, Bamm. Well said.
It's the second week in a row I ain't got no tea to sip.
I was thinking the same thing.
Got nothing.
Nothing. No tea, no lemonade.
Listen. All right. So to the song here in my heart. All right. So.
But we still love all y'all.
Well, we do love all of you guys. And if you're watching on live stream right now, thank you so much for tuning in to the Scandal season finale. AfterBuzz, and go ahead and click that thumbs up button. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, like, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate it. And also, tell us about Happy Hour, Sophia.
Oh my goodness! On Happy Hour, it was our season 1 finale. We taped episode 52. Happy Hour, a shot of conversation. You're probably wondering, what is Happy Hour?
What is it?
Well, Happy Hour is where you BYOB, but the tea is on us. Hey. And so we talk about everything. We talk about tea, social commentary, political analysis. It's what you talk about at Happy Hour, but with us and with you. So again, check it out, Happy Hour, a shot of conversation on iTunes, or follow us at happyhour_TV. Season 2 officially starts next week.
Hey, no wait for that. Okay, so speaking of tea, what we were talking about on Happy Hour, Lizzie Bear walks her ass back into David's office.
Sorry, can I say that like literally every bad word that I could have, like I hate her like she stole my man. No, literally, that's how much I hate her. No, I hate like she.
That's deep.
No, but it's deep. But she's the worst. Yeah. She is the worst. Like when she comes on the screen, I'm taking off my earrings. I'm taking off.
I am literally gonna rewind so I can see that. The word.
You gotta make it again.
She did this necro. The word. I can't. Oh my god.
Because like the president said, I'm secure in my blackness.
Oh my goodness, that was classic. No, but Sophia's right. She is the absolute worst.
She's the worst.
She was in the office telling him, you'll be stupid not to take the VP position, and then she solidifies it with a kiss. that she turned into a makeout session.
But he didn't even want it.
He said, I didn't want it. She said, I don't want it either. But it's what we have to do.
So go back to bed. Get out.
That's supposed to be enticing?
Right.
Like, really,
No,
dude?
I don't want this. I don't want it either. So why you want me?
Right.
Like, I can't. I will say, I miss Susan this episode.
Me too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually
I was
miss
having
Susan.
the same. Go ahead.
Last week I was really bummed that she's not a part of the political
Like the
campaign.
ticket.
Yeah.
But sorry, girl, because who they have is good. So I'm sorry. Bye. Susan.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Bye.
She had a good.
She had a good little
story
run.
arc, right? Is that what
Bye,
it's called?
girl.
Do you
Story
think
arc?
that she's gone? Or will she be one of those characters like Tom that pops back in?
Well, she has to. If they come back and he's still in the White House winding down, she's still technically a part of the house.
True.
Or technically, if in fact they won't be a season 6 because this was a great way to close the show, then she's gone.
Everybody's gone in that case. Bye.
I want to do a public apology because I've been working beside my work wife over here, Kenneilia, for years, and I know sometimes when I talk, I spit. I know I be spitting all over you. I be saying
I didn't feel it.
I don't know if you feel it or not, but I be spitting on your arm all the time. I just have to point that out. I apologize.
That's why I be catching all them colds. Every time.
I can't. So I just have to let it out. So, let's talk about the writing. I mean, the show.
I didn't feel no spit.
Abby and Fitz. How did Fitz find Olivia's medical records?
Cause he nosy.
But
I had to yell. I'm sorry. First, they were in the drawer. The last place we saw them, they were in the drawer. And even if they were in an envelope or a file folder, what kind of person except a snooping Cheryl will go into your office, pick up the folder, and read it? Who does that?
That's something that Cyrus would do. That was very unfits-like, and I think that was a terrible way to allow him to figure out the big secret. They should have kept it.
I wanted to, some talk about, like.
They should have kept it just like that.
It's not true. And walked out. Boy, get out.
No, and I was yelling at the screen. I was like, Fitz doesn't even know where Abby's office is. Do you know what I mean? It's just not realistic. So, because just like you said, and I need to like beat a dead horse. So it just happened to be on the desk, or it was in the drawer. So he happened to go through all of her papers and ended up getting to that one. Why was he there to begin with? Why was he snooping? Like, none of it makes sense. Absolutely none of it makes sense. Let alone he doesn't know where her office is.
And the way he was standing there, was standing in there like he probably been in that office for like 10 minutes, just going through all kind of things. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah. However, fast forward, the scene that actually with Olivia, I thought was brilliant. The scene when Olivia comes in with the red.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that scene was same thing. There was a they were like reserved in this episode, even though there were pockets of the episode where I think that the writing was off and so forth and so on. There were moments where this show isn't normally so, I guess the word would be subdued. Mm-hmm. It was so subdued. And the subtle nuances of what he was saying and how he was communicating. And I think that he was, you know, if literally, let's say, like a child has, let's say, been abused, and like you're interacting with a child, that you literally have to physically come down to their level to make sure that they know that you're not a threat. That's to me what he did with his entire presence as well as his voice. He was being very deliberate to not be aggressive with Olivia, because on some levels it could have gone the other way. Mm-hmm. And I think that he recognized that at minimum he took upon himself that 99.9, if not 100% of her not telling him was on him. And he needed to make sure that she was 100% aware of that, whether or not she was aware of that in that moment or 10 years from now when she relives this moment and realizes what he was communicating to her. And to me, at least in that moment in the Oval, my respect for him as a man went up exponentially. And again, I know that possibly people are going to tear it apart, but again, in that moment, to me, what they have gone through, what she has gone through, what he just found out about, and the way that he handled it, to me, speaks volumes about him as a man.
I agree. I was ready to tear down this relationship. I was ready to just be Team Fitz and be Team No Live just for the situation. But the way listen, if he can forgive her, then I'm done. I mean, if he's at peace, then hey, I'm back to Team Olitz.
But then that speaks to the actual situation of going through something like an abortion. It ain't his job to forgive her.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like, and if you really stand in the idea of a woman having her right to choose and what she wants to do with her body, it don't matter if he forgives her. You know what I mean? Like, technically, it ain't his place to.
I get
forgive.
that, but I get that, and I'm just to say this, and I don't want to go back and forth, but
Yeah, right. I get it.
Fitz is not a guy she met at the club. He's not a no good man. Like, in my mind, I felt that Olivia was wrong not to tell him that she was pregnant. He's not a one night stand. He's a good dude, and they were in a relationship, so I felt that he owed her that. But I'm not gonna argue. If they at peace with it, I'm at peace with it, and I'll never say anything else about it.
I think what I loved about that scene was Fitz just finally manned up and listened to somebody, because it was a perfect pairing to remember. This scene is a result of the scene that he had with Melly, and the dynamic between that scene, the interaction he had with Melly, and the interaction he had with Olivia. We, in a way, finally saw growth from Fitz, and so that's why most of us. We're sitting there in awe. Just to put it in perspective, so Sofia and I were sitting on the sofa, and then Bamm and Kenneilia were sitting in chairs in front of us. So Sofia and I were in awe, and I enjoyed the scene. And Kenneilia, I was tapping her. I was like, "Oh yeah, he apologized." Kenneilia threw so much shade my way, y'all.
Let me show you what I did.
Oh no.
As soon as she walked in and he was like, "Have a seat," I was like, "Oh God."
She really did.
And then the
really
music,
did.
bling, 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 bling. I was like, "Oh my God, come on."
But you, after you saw the end of it, though, you were like,
No, I understand the
Okay.
scene, and I appreciate the scene. Y'all know I'm just over that couple.
I know.
Get out the Oval and go back to work.
Well, did it seem like great closure as far as that is as for you, Kenneilia? Did that seem like it was a good closure?
It's a good question.
I don't think it was. I know once we saw Olivia in her feelings when she got back to the office, when she started talking to Huck, I think it was good closure for him potentially, but for her, I think it reopened up that wound.
Well,
But I think it had to. Because to me, the fact that when she goes, "What made you change to speak?" and he said, "Because she asked me." It's that at the end of the day, I think there's a lot, and we've always talked about this on the show, that there's a certain aspect where, if anything, this show, I think, is from Shonda Rhimes, and I don't know why I always forget her first name, but Beers.
that's
it.
it.
But thank you. Is almost like a love story or a Shakespearean narrative of the lives of women. And oftentimes women sacrifice a lot because they sacrifice. No one's asking them to do so. And arguably they complain about how people in their lives act, but they never ask them to act otherwise. So on some levels, Olivia never stopped and said, "I don't like this. You're treating me this way. I really want power." Like this kind of clandestine, you wanting power but not kind of saying to him, "Yeah, I think I deserve to be in the White House. I deserve to be whatever." Maybe if you had had that conversation at the beginning, instead of manipulating the situation, we then would have had the situation where what happened had to happen and then you never told him. Maybe it could have gone a different way, because at the end of the day, if you theoretically are in control and you are in charge, then simply ask for what you want. And if people don't adhere to that, then you know, but you actually can't resent them for it if you've never asked them to do something otherwise, because they don't actually know they're doing anything wrong.
Speaking of not knowing speaking of not knowing they're doing anything wrong, it goes back with me to when Melly called him out because he said, "And if it wasn't for the Constitution, they would elect me again."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When she called him out on that, because it goes back to, like you're saying, if you don't know you're doing anything wrong, you just don't know. And so all this time, he didn't know. He doesn't know, even though you can call him a jerk, you can call him an ass, whatever you want. If he doesn't know that what he's doing is wrong, he just doesn't know. So when they're having that moment on the sofa, they're talking, I think what I love so much, because you've had all these years where he's listened to Olivia for her advice. Anything that benefits him. He's always listened to Olivia when it benefits him. He's always had experiences with her, whether it be sexually, together, whatever it is, it always somehow benefits him. It's never what is this going to do for Olivia? If you truly look at it, it's never was it going to do for Olivia. What I loved about his final line to her, and that's why I agree with Bamm, where this will be a good closer, good final, whatever, is he said, I support your choice, Liv, not that you need me to.
Exactly.
I love that because, one, on the surface, even if Liv had no clue that because we don't know if she knows that he knows about the abortion, but even if she had no clue, on the surface, I support your choice for Jake Ballard as a nominee. On the deeper level, I support your choice, the abortion. And in general, in life, I support your choice of leaving me. I support your choice in wanting power. I support you. Like, I just love that final line.
And just to kind of go one step further, even though you don't need me to. So it's recognizing that you don't need me to validate anything, but just in case for some reason you think you need it, I'm letting you know, and in the grand scheme of the cosmos, you don't need it. But just in case for some reason you still are holding on to that you want me to be happy for you or whatever it is that you think that you need forgiveness from me, I'm telling you that you don't need it, but I give it to you anyways.
It was a great scene.
Yeah.
It just was a great scene.
Yeah.
But then we had the saving moment, is what I'll call it, when she decides to save Jake. And Huck made a great point. He said, you can't take command. And she said, well, what am I supposed to do? He said, walk in the front door. And he said, get gangster. But her strategy, well, sorry, before we go to that, I kind of loved how real Jake was in the garage when he was saying, what is your plan? Like, she kept trying to say, I want, what is your plan? Like, what is your plan? She had no plan. Fast forward. Go, what?
See, I'm conflicted. I agree, because sometimes it's like, yo, in real life situations, like, y'all could get murked at any minute. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you need to hurry up with a plan. People could be watching you. The fact that she's like, oh, this is the only place that I could go that my father wouldn't know. Are you kidding me? They're
Just
following me
say
all
what
the
you
time.
need to say.
Just say what you need to say. However, I think that it is imperative. I need to know that you are on board and that you trust me. Because if in any way you don't, and this goes the wrong way, like, how do I know my dad won't kill me?
True.
Or kill you, and then that's on me. So either way, I need to make sure that you're really on board with this, and not just that you weren't playing with me, or wasn't some feeble attempt that you really like. That on some levels we're gonna walk off in the sun together. I mean, the next scene realizes that's not gonna happen, but in that moment, that's where I thought she was going with it. That it's like, I'm willing to do this if we really are going to do this together. But if it's not really us together, then I can't take that risk. Even though she then basically PP'd on that 2 seconds later, but.
When she walked into the house, basically said that in 4 hours it's going to be all over the press that Jake Ballard's going to be Mellie's running mate. And Rowan laughs, and then they have this whole ordeal where she says, come with me. She tells Jake to get up. When they're doing all this, she has all this confidence. Rowan pulls a gun out. He says,
stay strapped.
Right?
But no one else does.
Right?
Right? The OG though.
Right?
Oh, that's true.
Them old dads be.
Yeah.
And who did he tell to sit his narrow ass down?
Yeah. He told Jake that. That was funny. That was
Who
funny.
really know, like, who? Time out. Can we have a moment?
Yeah.
Who do we think really is writing his line?
Wait, have y'all seen, he was just on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah.
Okay, I didn't see.
He literally did his character, but it was hilarious.
It was.
Okay.
I'll
send it to you.
Okay. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think I'm gonna say Shonda Rhimes.
Okay.
She probably wrote that, the narrow ass.
Because in general, though, like this is the thing is, and I think funny thing is actually, I think we talked about this on Happy Hour, where I think that what is happening now in America, specifically as it pertains to a lot of things, is when certain people or certain cultures have an inside voice and an outside voice, right? And there are certain things that we talk amongst ourselves, but we don't necessarily talk publicly. What Scandal is doing with Rowan's narrative is Rowan is that inside voice. Rowan is that voice where we're like, yo, did they just say that? Mm-hmm. Because we've had those conversations, but we normally have those insular, not in public. But he is bringing a certain light to it, as well as the fact that it is a juxtaposition against the entitlement that he always says other people have. He's not entitled, he's actually powerful, which in essence is laughing at their actual sense of power. Does that make sense in a weird way? Okay, cool.
I hate to go old school, but not only is it with Scandal, but it's with Blackish, it's with Empire. It's like we're reverting back to the 70s where you had all those black shows who were doing the same thing, and I think it's great for 2016.
That's an excellent analogy.
Yeah.
Cool. So she grabs his hand and says, "Come with me," and they walk out. And when she gets out, well, first of all, Papa Pope's reaction, he's such a great actor. Like the way that his whole jaw was like, that was amazing.
And also too, like, Jay, get up.
Yeah.
And I get it, and I know that people are probably like, oh my God, Sophie's so cold. I understand he's been abused. I understand that it's Stockholm Syndrome. I understand all of that. But dude, you sent a message to me.
Yeah, make a choice.
So when I know, but also not make a choice. You already made a choice. The minute you whispered into Edison's ear, that was your choice. So when I come to get you, you better pop up, dude.
Yeah, but he had a gun to his head. Come on.
No, but before that, he was when she said get up. When she said get up, she literally had to tell him to get up like a couple times, and then she had to move over to him and actually take his hand, and then he got up. We wouldn't have had all that time for the gun.
But listen, if you can put guns to other people's head and you can kill and do all what you do, if somebody put a gun to your head, especially when you've been trained with B6, whatever it is,
613.
I would even imagine if you can tell whether when you have a gun to your head, if it's even loaded or not.
Yeah, trust me,
it's loaded.
It's loaded.
No, let's think about it. I hear what y'all saying, and then not to. I'm assuming I have to be the only one defending Jake. Nobody even expected Olivia to bust through the front door because she didn't know she had to bust through the front door. Okay. So you got somebody busting through the front door, knowing he's strapped, knowing that this is about to go down, and she's like, get up. You're like, what the fuck is going on? What? You really gonna sit there and process it because you have Olivia Pope going in there and saying, I can walk you out and nothing's gonna happen to you.
She didn't have nobody with her.
Nobody with her. She didn't have no guns.
No purse. Okay. No gun in the purse.
You are 100% correct. But again, are we forgetting who Jake is? Like literally on some levels, it's like, yo, dude. So you ain't strapped? So meaning we really are supposed to believe that this man who literally just let this man die in front of him and basically told him he's basically about to steal all of his motherfucking money is literally so afraid of a man that literally when she walks in, he don't got no plan?
Rapists are afraid. People who get raped are afraid of their rapists. Yes.
I mean,
yes. If this point. Man if Rowan is the person that we think he is and that we say he is, who wouldn't be afraid of him?
Okay.
Who would be afraid of him?
And we talk about, how cold Jake is. Who created him?
Yeah. Ugh.
Like if the devil created you, you could be the devil's son.
Yeah.
But
you still, just like we talk about our parents.
Yeah, it's true. I was thinking the same thing. Because I'm a grown up.
I can run as fast as I can, but no.
If my mom texted me right now and was like, yo, why are you cursing so much? I'd be like, oh my God, Mom,
never cursing again.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
But I'd still curse tomorrow though. But I would really apologize.
And they're miles away.
Yeah. Thousands. Yeah.
So, no, great point, Kenneilia.
And my mom is an angel. I mean, just for the sake of context. I mean, right?
Yeah.
So they walked out. They literally walked into the sun together, and Olivia said, "Damn." That was probably my favorite moment. That was hilarious. Okay, so
but so real though, right?
It was real because we were all thinking, "There's no way she's like." Yeah.
And I was all like, "Run!" I'm like, they just like walking. I'm like, "Yo," I'm like, "Duck something."
Run.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up. Okay, so Cyrus. Cyrus. He was talking to Tom. Tom gave him an update. He found Michael. He's in Virginia. He's renting a house or an apartment. He still has Ella. He's paying for tutors. Like, doing a great job. Cyrus can't let him be happy. Tom comes back and they talk about murdering him. Murdering Michael. He can make him look like...
And whether or not he's going to suffer or not. Like, you an evil bitch.
And then he talks about Ella coming back and who's going to take care of her. I'm like, why don't you just let them be? He does not care about that child.
No, don't care about her.
Not only let him be, like let him be and send him an extra check.
Yes, I just don't
like.
But then, I'm just wrapping this up. As we fast forward, all of a sudden, Tom is in the hallway, all excited. I can't be with you anymore. Yeah, no, wait.
You found?
No, remember because Tom goes, oh, I can do it here. I can make it look very whatever.
Oh yes, worse. I didn't even catch that. Oh,
yes.
Oh my God, that makes sense. That makes sense.
He literally is so giddy. He's like, oh, this is our coming out party.
Boo boo.
I can't be with you anymore.
I'm getting back together with Michael.
Like really?
What we have is over.
Just like that.
Because I'm a savage.
I can't. And we were all like, wait, what? And then our brains slowly started clicking. They slowly started clicking. And then we see that Cyrus is now on the ticket to be with Frankie, which is perfect.
Which is very perfect.
It's perfect. We don't even have to go into the reasons why.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
It's literally perfect.
But I do wonder if Tom.
Yes.
He didn't tie up loose ends.
Of course not.
And also, he crushed him.
Yeah.
I am glad that Tom he went from a Secret Service to the storyline. Like, I mean, just look at.
Yeah, because he really is an amazing actor.
The way that he's come up in this show, I'm really happy for him. But for some reason, there's something about that storyline that I did not like. But I do like, there's just something.
It's funny, and I really liked it because and I think it was Kenneilia brought it up either last episode or 2 episodes ago, that every time they're in the bedroom, Cyrus is so honest and so real. Yeah. So for Cyrus to be so honest and so real, and then to drop him, the way he dropped him, Cyrus is cold. Like, to say Cyrus is cold is an understatement.
Cyrus is like, well, bye.
Yeah.
Fixed his little tie, grabbed Ella, and walked out.
That Ella's so cute.
Beyond.
She is so cute. But yeah, he didn't tie up loose ends.
No. But I am happy for Cyrus just because you remember the conversation that he had with James when they were naked and how he couldn't. So, I mean, I'm happy for him. But
he's finally getting what he wants.
So he won't win.
Wait, what?
He won't win.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think, honestly, I don't think we're going to get that far.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
I don't think they'll get that far. But if we really had the time and the space to really debate these two tickets,
they stellar.
He probably would win.
And
because Cyrus is a Republican and he lives a liberal life, so he got both things on lock.
But
he's like a conservative. He's a conservative liberal, so he gets everything. So it's like at the end of the day, you still pull in the liberal vote, but then you're gonna pull the conservative Republican. So any of the moderates and they're gonna pull any sexist Republicans that would actually prefer to vote for an all-male ticket than over a woman, and that's what's effed up.
I get that, but you cannot count out Olivia Pope, and the fact you cannot count out Reverend Ike.
But this is the thing though, is that the funny thing is, but Reverend Ike owns all of them. Yeah. And that's what's tricky. Reverend Ike owns both tickets.
Regardless who gets in, it's a win-win for him.
Also, then he may give it to them just because Jake.
The funny thing is, the funny thing is,
it doesn't matter.
He doesn't have to puppet anymore. No. Yeah. He literally wins either way. That's why he's sitting back and he's enjoying this. And he's like, "That's my girl," because he literally everything is perfectly in play now.
And even if Cyrus and Frankie do win, Olivia would still somehow get herself into the it's a win-win all the way.
All the way.
So yeah, that was dirty. Final thing we'll talk about, and if I miss anything besides what we're about to talk about, we can go online and talk about it. When Olivia finally had a sit down with Jake when he was getting ready, and she turned into command essentially, and she said, no, you're getting out on that stage. And she told him, because after we briefly talked about it earlier, where he started going on this rant about his house that he's picked out and all this, and she literally said things that Rowan said a couple episodes ago when we had the flashbacks. With how we saw how Jake came up, mediocrity, being normal, all those different things, and we know not only because of the Liv we see now, but just who raised her and how she was raised, she can't do normal. She can't do normal.
Also, too, though, and this is gonna, and I need to choose my words carefully. Did that sound enticing to anyone here at this table? And I wasn't raised by command. Do you know what I'm gonna say? Like, it's almost like on some levels. On some levels, it's kind of like the naivete, and I need to use this for the sake of this example. The naivete of these men gets on my effing nerves. Like, you can walk away from this because you've always had it. And you've always had it not necessarily by your own doing. You had it because it wasn't necessarily a level playing field. So if you didn't necessarily work for something, it's easy to go, okay, I've had it, cool, I'm going to give it back. Excuse me? So you somehow think that me living in a random ass house and popping out your 3 random ass kids? No, but I mean, that's what he said though. But did he say that and have ordinary kids? He didn't say brilliant kids. He didn't say, because again, not to do this again, it was to juxtapose it against at least Fitz. At least what Fitz was offering her was at least something a little bit more grand.
Well,
and a little bit less
to their background.
ordinary.
From money and
Right, but that at least makes sense to me. At least
Jay
I'm gonna
came from
pop
the
out
other
if I'm
side
not
of the
living it.
tracks.
Right. So you want to really live in the trailer? And I don't mean no disrespect to the trailer,
disrespect to
but
the
that's
trailer.
basically what he's saying to me. And popping out like, excuse me?
Well, she didn't grow up like that. Like she
And
didn't
that's
grow
my
up
point.
that way.
Do you know what I mean? But no part of that seemed enticing. So even for him to say it, it's literally like, oh yeah, I'm way too good for you, boo boo. Because if you at that moment just realize that I never wanted power, then you don't really get it, because that's why I left the island. Like, does he forget that I already left the island? If you really think I left the island because Harrison died, Harrison was already dead.
Is he?
Oh.
I can't.
Oh my god.
All right, guys, that's a wrap for Scandal Season 5. Let's go ahead and go into... Wait, did anybody have prediction? Nope. Okay.
I don't have a prediction, but I will forget to say this, being that we're not potentially won't come back until January. But the conversation that Melly and Fitz had when she was saying how he didn't earn it and so forth, I thought the conversation was great, and she said what she had to say. But Melly, for you to say that he didn't earn it, you have to remember, sweetie, you were a part of the team 5 who cheated to get a man. So I was with her for just a second, but it was like at some point, okay, Melly, shut up, because Fitz went all the way until the second term before you even realized the big who. So just shut up, Melly. And that's what I will forget to tweet between now and January if we come back.
Now in January. All right, guys. Where? Oh, yes. We have to do Kenneilia's cold piece of the week. Oh, they do. Hey!
Well, cold piece of the week for the finale of season 5 of Scandal first goes to you all for sticking with us this entire season. Thank you so much for tuning in our after show, tweeting us, hitting us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, giving your thoughts, your predictions, telling us what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show, everything, just being down for us. So we want to thank you and give you the honor of having cold piece of the week. Second cold piece of the week, man, I'm just gonna give it to Papa Pope. He's Hall of Fame cold piece. So the fact that everything played out and worked in his favor, he wasn't even upset anymore. He had his nice red wine, was sitting on the couch. He probably ate dinner, because they always eating at that damn house, and he, got what he wanted. Cold piece of the week goes to Emile's abs again.
OMG, yeah.
Emile has rib abs on his ribs. Go to Emile's Instagram page and look at his picture. Cold piece that goes to him. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and let us know who you think should be cold piece and cold piece of the week.
I can't. All right,
Look at that picture. I'm tired.
I can't.
At Emile Ennis Jr.
Sophia.
I mean, is that serious?
All right, guys, let us know where we can find you on social media.
You can find me on social media at Bamm Ericsen, and also this coming Tuesday, May 17th, I have a film that is coming out that I produce. It's called All About the Money on Amazon, May 17th. For more information, you guys can go to our website at www.allaboutthemoneymovie.com, or you can follow us on social media at AATM Film. That All About the Money, Amazon, May 17th. It's available for both rent and for purchase.
And if you're still a little parched, make sure to check out our podcast, Happy Hour, A Shot of Conversation, at happyhour_TV. Happy Hour, A Shot of Conversation, available on iTunes. And you can contact me at Sofia Stanley, Twitter and Facebook, at the Sofia Stanley on Instagram.
You can find me at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Kenneilia. You can add me on Snapchat. I'm just going to look at your videos. I'm not going to post at Kenneilia1. And I'll be at Flappers Comedy Club on May 24th. Hit me up on social media to get ticket info.
And you can find me at Emile Ennis Jr. and at Emile Ennis Jr. 31 on Snapchat, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to season 5 of Scandal. We really appreciate you guys watching and listening. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.